Hmm. Good morning, thriving warriors and those who wish they were. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 6:11 a.m. Enjoy your morning effort.
Okay, Alexa, what is the date?
Today is Wednesday, July 6th.
And Alexa, for bonus points, what is the weather forecast for today? Alexa, what is the weather forecast?
Right now in Pahrump, it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Throughout the day, you can expect more of the same, with a high of 98 degrees and a low of 71 degrees.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, yesterday, the day after 4th of July, we brought two people up here. One more, Andy Anderson, is coming up today. And we have another mission from hell. Maybe we could get some volunteers. I know there's two from up here, maybe three, regarding finishing the house in Citrus Garden. So there's stuff in the garage, so we're going to be renting another one-way truck. That's A. B, we have to remove some tree roots in the backyard and dead plants and get ready to paint. So I would like to indulge upon Greg, not to paint, but to go and estimate how much paint and the materials that we need so the landlord can get the materials for us. Also, it would be nice if there was somebody, perhaps Greg, who could provide information on the best way to remove the tree roots. So this was about a 20-foot tree with a maybe 16-inch diameter trunk. The tree died, but the roots did not, and now there are a bunch of shoots. It looks like a bush. I think it should be kept as a bush, but the landlord wants it removed and to replace the backyard with rocks, which will be part 2 of this exercise. So that is that. Now, that's a perfect segue into Seth Godin's daily blog. Do you have a plan? First, let's agree that there's a problem. And maybe then I think we're facing something serious, something costly, something urgent, and you don't. We can have an honest conversation about the problem without worrying about whether there's an easy or certain solution. We can also have a conversation about whether it's a problem, problems have solutions, or whether it's simply a situation, something like gravity that we have to live with. Okay, so is it a problem or is it a situation? Problems have solutions. Situations we have to live with. Once we agree we have a problem, the status quo will show up. The status quo will show up. It will argue with every tool it has that any variation from the current path is too risky, too expensive, and too painful to consider. The status quo will stall. It will argue for studies and will amplify the pain that will be caused to some as we try to make things better for everyone. So true. And the status quo usually wins. That's because the makers of change are now playing defense, forced to justify every choice and ameliorate every inconvenience. Perhaps there's a more useful way forward. we begin by agreeing that there's a problem. And then each party, every single one, needs to put forward a plan that either addresses the problem or takes responsibility for not addressing it. For each plan, we can consider the likely outcomes. For each plan, we can ask, will that work? And follow up with why and how. Perhaps you don't think it's a problem worth solving. That's important to bring up before we ask if you have a plan. Option. But then let's be honest and announce that instead of simply stop. Wow, really, really good. As always, this is attached to the notes. And this is for career services. This would be a really, really good one. Let's go back. Let's go back and agree. How do we begin? We begin by agreeing that there's a problem. So in today's thing, the problem is we have not, in moving out of the house, we entered into an agreement to do additional work. Why? Not sure why. But we did. So a deal's a deal. So the problem is competing use of time. And people here. So the approach is agreed there's a problem. Okay. And then everybody has to come up with a plan on how to solve the problem. Or say that it's not really a problem. Or be honest and announce that they want to delay. So admit there's a problem, come up with a plan to solve it, or say, I want to delay. I don't want to solve it right now. And once everybody's together to solve the problem, in this manner, the problem will be solved the most efficient way, because otherwise the status quo kicks in and the status quo wants to do things the way it's always been done. And so the people who want to change things are always on the defensive, having to solve every little detail. So go back to that. Once we agree we have a problem, the status quo will show up. It will argue with every tool it has that any variation from the current path is too risky, too expensive, and too painful to consider. The status quo will stall. It will argue for studies, and it will amplify the pain that will be caused to some as we try to make things better for everyone. So this is a perfect example with NDOC and PNP regarding parolees. We are not like, because we're trying to change the status quo. And they're using every tool at their end, every tool it has, with any variation that the change is too risky, et cetera, et cetera. Status quo usually wins because the makers of change are now playing defense, forced to justify every choice and ameliorate every inconvenience. Okay, so that's a really good one for you, for your careers, but it's also very appropriate for today and the problems that we are having and in the housing. So back to that, 943. Everybody was told you have a choice, stay or go. I think there's a couple people that are likely to be trespassed today. Guys, there's the easy way and the hard way. let's do this the easy way. We've helped you out. We provided things. Because of your poor behavior, the new owners decided they don't want us there. And the pictures I took yesterday of the apartments, I have no defense. There's nothing I could say to defend that they should not take that position. We have other apartments, other places with them. And even if I was going to fight a battle on behalf of those who are not doing their part, in other words, the people who caused the problems, if I was to step up to defend the people who caused the problem needlessly, the only thing that would happen is all of our other properties would be gone too. Everybody else would have to leave too, instead of just the people who caused the problem. And it doesn't make sense to stand up and fight for the people who caused the problem in the first place, right? I think everybody would agree. So now, once again, those people who are left are in a position where they have to decide whether they're going to just step up and do the right thing, or whether it's going to go the other way. And I'm pretty sure the parole officers will understand once they see the pictures why the landlord effectively said, give up this property or give up all property, or we'll evict you from all properties. I think they can understand that. So, okay, we are at 11:58. We will do our boom. Yesterday was the only easy day. Don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Let's go make something happen. And cut.